My name is Dr. Lema, and this is the Health Channel and Autism Voice for Children. Our goal is to create a world where autistic children and that adults will thrive in. So we've heard of level 1, 2, 3 of autism. What exactly does it mean? That's what we're going to talk about today. If you have not followed us or subscribed, please do so, whether on YouTube, on Instagram, or on Facebook. Well, let's go back to our topic. So levels simply talk about how much support these children or these adults will needed at the time of diagnosis. And usually this changes based on how much intervention a child has to go through. And usually what we have seen and what we know is autism usually gets better as the child grows, okay? So usually we have level 1, which they require support because they're autistic, and we know autism is a disability. So they just require minimal support. And level 3, where they require very substantial support. So starting with level 3, so a level 3 child, they need accommodation in the activities of daily living, okay, for them to be able to function independently, okay? So these are the children who need supervision in most of the tasks, okay? And most of these are usually non-verbal. However, we also have verbal children who are on level 3 of support. They are usually, most of the time, they'll have frequent meltdowns. Some are quite aggressive and self-harm. So you've seen of kids who will cut themselves, who, may run to the street. And if you're not there, that's why they really, really need your supervision. Something bad may really happen, okay? They have intense stimming. Now, for those who are here for the first time, stimming is simply how this child regulates themselves. I think we'll do a separate video for that. So these children who are on level 3, they have intense stimming, okay? And they need help in their communication. As we said, they are mostly non-verbal, and those who are verbal, it may be a bit challenging them expressing themselves and their needs, because most of them will have meltdowns and being aggressive, or sometimes self-harm whenever they feel threatened. Okay, so that's a level 3 support. Then we go to level 2. Level 2 is slightly better than level 3. So we say they need substantial support. And usually these children, you can actually tell that this child has some level of disability. You can tell that from when you see them for the first time. Some are verbal and some are non-verbal. Okay, and you'll notice they're stimming, okay, and they may cope with change, but it's quite challenging. You see, when a level 3 faces change, usually they'll have very bad meltdowns. Some will be quite aggressive, while a level 2 may not have as bad meltdowns, but it's quite challenging. Like, you really need to transition them quite slowly. Okay, we do know that all autistic children have issues with transitioning, but you will notice it more based on the severity of support, on the level of support these children will need. Okay, these are children whom you may talk to and they may appear inattentive, and sometimes you may not even be sure are these children actually even hearing what I'm saying, but most of the time they can actually hear what you're saying. It's just sometimes they have to do that as a way of coping and regulating what is happening in their brain, okay? Some will have late milestones. Now, with level 2, if you are able to put routines and standards in everything that they do, most of them will be able to thrive in that space, okay? So, for example, these are children who need to know, we wake up at this time. After waking up, the first thing is that, depending on the age, they either make their bed or they go brush their teeth. And where will I find my toothbrush? Okay, because sometimes if they go and they don't find their toothbrush where it's supposed to be, that may be something they may need to cope with. Another child will simply just ask, "Where's my toothbrush?" But these ones may start even throwing a tantrum simply because the toothbrush was not where it's supposed to be. Okay, the toothpaste is supposed to be where it's supposed to be. Then they come make their bed. How do you make their bed? This is where you put your pillows. This is where you fold your duvet. Like, they need those standards on how to do things. So as a parent, if you are able to do this, most of the level 2 children or adults can really live independently. Okay, and that means they don't require as much supervision as level 3. Then we come to level 1. Most, as a parent, you'll be told things like, your child doesn't look autistic. Some of us have heard that for so many times. Your child doesn't look autistic, but you see, there is no one face of autism. So these are the kids who will be seen as weird or awkward and not necessarily disabled. So most people will not pick the disability in these children. They may even start a conversation. They may even tell you hi. Some will even have a few friends, but keeping them can be a bit challenging, and it is someone who really, really understands them. Okay, these are children who may handle change, but may struggle a bit, but not as much as level 2 children. However, as all autistic kids, they thrive in routines. So if you have a child who has autism, try as much as you can to put standards and routines in your home. It really, really helps. Okay, they may steam. Okay, because as we said, steaming is a way of the brain regulating itself, but the steaming will not be as noticeable as in level 2. And most people will perceive level 1 children's steam as being annoying. So someone will say, this child does this and it's quite annoying. This child is actually steaming. They're not doing that because they think it's fun to do it. Okay, and then some of these people may be perceived as being lazy, okay? But as we said, their wiring is different. These people are usually very intelligent, and the way their brain works is usually very different from what we consider to be a typical brain. So the bottom line is, whenever you have a child whom you don't understand their behavior, try to put yourself in this child's shoes and observe. Observation is the best thing you can give to this child, because you're able to see do they do this, what could be the trigger of this, and how do I approach it. Okay, and also I should also mention that the levels of autism were put there by medical fraternity, just to know which support do we give to which children. Okay, but at the end of the day, all autistic children and adults need respect and support. Okay, and all these children are quite unique, and because they are unique, we have to approach them with very unique strategies. Okay, there is no one size that fits all. So as much as we are able to respect them, we'll be able to support them better. I really hope this helps and it sheds light on what we see and what we understand and how we can best help our children. All right, so thank